Hey guys, welcome back. This is AJXG here with another video. I want to say thank you to those who have subscribed and thank you to those who are here for the first time. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a subscribe. If not, I would appreciate a like. Alright, so I am going to do a comparison between the Galaxy S8 and the S10 as I've had both phones. So I am the person that likes to skip a generation between the Samsung devices, so I usually get the even number. I did have the S7, but before then I had the 2, the 4, the 6, 8, and 10 now. Alright, so at the end I'm going to run down the on-paper specs so you can hear it for yourself. But 9 out of 10 times you're coming here as a consumer that isn't really in-depth in the tech field and you just want to know whether you should upgrade or not. So, battery life. The battery life is 3,400 milliamps on the S10 and 3,000 on the S8. That is not that big a difference, but with the software that they have built into the S10, my device lasts almost 24 hours without a single charge, and I've used it the way I normally use my S8, which is YouTube, streaming video, and all of that, and I've had 24 hours of battery life on the optimal battery saver thing. I do not have medium power saver. I have the optimized for my usage. So optimized for my usage, and I guess when I'm not using it, it automatically deletes what's running in the background, and my battery tends to live for 24 hours. Now that is a great feature. After you have a phone for about 2 years, the battery starts to lose your charge faster, which I started noticing with my S8 around, I want to say, lunchtime at my job. I would have to plug it in the charge because I'm at 30% and it's not going to last for the rest of the day. So that's one thing. If you've had the phone since the S8 dropped and you're noticing your battery is not keeping the same charge consistency as it was before, it is time to let it go. Now, let's get to the camera. The cameras are way better. If you see my last video of the of the Galaxy Buds versus my previous videos when I do unboxings, those previous videos I recorded with my S8 at the max camera settings, and then on my S10 I recorded the Galaxy Buds, and you can see the difference. I can record in 1080p at 60 frames per second. It was not like that on my S8. It was 1080p, not 60 frames per second. All right. Boom. The back cameras. Yes. So you have 12, 12, 16 for the S10 and S10 Plus variants. On the 10e, I believe it's 12 and 16 because I think you still have the wide camera angle lens on it. Please don't quote me. I don't recall all the specs on the 10e for me. So the camera looks, oh my goodness. So let's talk about the front-facing camera. So you know how if you've ever used an Android device, it's a pretty nice front-facing camera. But then once you use the iPhone front-facing camera, you're like, oh my God, I get to see how ugly I really am. Let me tell you, there is no difference between the front-facing camera on the S10 and the iPhone now. Okay, the camera is beautiful, and it has a nice little effect when you flip between front and back. You see like a little animation around the little rim of the hole punch cutout. Okay, now I know a lot of you want to talk about the hole punch cutout. Oh, blah blah blah. Let me tell you, that hole punch makes your phone look beautiful. I want to say I'm slightly bougie. Like if I'm on the train, because I live in New York, and I look over at someone that has a XR or X, and that notch, oh my God, it looks like they're playing with a Lego phone. I don't know, that notch is really rough. Like now that having full screen of all screen and no notch, I really enjoy it. Okay, it looks wonderful. When you're watching videos, it's the same way when you're watching like a wide angle movie. Your brain automatically blocks out the black at the top and the black at the bottom, and it seems like you have the whole screen. That's essentially what's happening with this phone. So if you're watching a video, you eventually will forget that notch is even there, to be honest. So that is one thing. So the AR emojis look way better on the S10. Now, I was getting ready to switch to iPhones because they're memojis, but the AR emojis now, even compared to the S9, like the S9 AR emojis look shitty. So yeah, we have one more extra year and it looks way better. The AR emojis are really cute. I like that. The only thing that I can say about this phone that it's not something not to like, but it's annoying. Like I don't have the little notification light, and my friends, you know, they tell me that I always forget to text them back. like when I had the notification light, I would open my phone and be like, okay, I'm gonna text them back in 5 minutes. So not having it is not gonna drive me crazy. But Samsung, I hope you're listening. Please send up a software patch, because it would be cool to see like a lighting effect around the hole punch when you get a notification. So if that's a pet peeve for you, that you need a notification light, don't upgrade yet until the software comes out. But Samsung is working on it. At least that's what they said at the Unpacked event to various people that have gone. What else is there to say? Oh, the speakers. The speakers sound way better on the S10. 100% better, and they're louder. I prefer the speakers on the S10 versus the S8 any day of the week. That's just personal for me, and other people have said it, but I'm telling you right now, the speakers sound a hell of a lot better. It has the same aux cord jack. And yeah, so if you are saying, oh, I don't want a bigger phone because it's 6.1 and I think the Plus is 6.4, like they're walling out. The S10 Plus is huge as hell. I'm not gonna lie, that is a giant phone for no reason. But the S10 between the S8 is literally, you're just removing the bezels. It's literally the same phone in the hand. That's all I can really say. Alright, so I'm just going to run down the technical spec sheets of the devices, and then you can choose what you want to do after that. They both have an octa-core processor. The S10 is 6.1 display, and the S8 is 5.8. So there you go. You can see that it's not that much bigger between the S8 and the S10. The storage, it starts at 64 on the 8, and it starts at 128 gigabytes on the 10. So I mean, you get more storage when you start out. The camera is 12 megapixels, 12 megapixels, 16, like I told you. And on the S8, it is just 12 megapixels, okay? The RAM. So the RAM actually makes a difference. So to me, I was like, why does a phone need 8 gigabytes of RAM? I mean, it's not a freaking computer. It's going to be fine. I am going to tell you the speed is way different, and it's not as laggy. Like, towards the end of my life, end of my Galaxy S8 life, it started to be a little glitchy, especially when we got the Android 8 update. I can't remember which one that is. What is that one? Nougat. Yeah, when we had Nougat, it started getting a little glitchy. So yeah, so imagine getting One UI on the S8 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Good luck to you. Okay. The 8 gigabytes makes a huge difference. The fingerprint reader, I was very used to the one on the back, so I can just, for a few days I was touching the back of my phone to unlock my device. I totally forgot. But the in-screen fingerprint reader works very well. I just would say put your fingerprint in different directions and put it in like multiple times, and then it should unlock pretty fast. I know people's like, oh, it should unlock as soon as I put my finger on it. Listen, it's a new technology, and it takes time, but it works perfectly fine for me. Other people saying it takes them 1,000 times. It doesn't take 1,000 times for me. All right. What am I, Bob? The operating system is Pi. We're about to get Q, so I don't know if S8 is going to get Q, and if it does get Q, it might be a little slower. The speeds is the same. The speakers. So remember when I said the speakers sound way better? It's because the speaker is by Dolby. So Adobe is the speakers. So that's why the speakers sound way better. The graphics is better, but I know you guys don't care about the technical term about the graphics. So yeah, so that is my review on whether you should upgrade from the S8 to the S10. I told you the things about the S8, and I told you the thing about the S10. It's pretty much up to you. In 2019, should you buy a S8? Yeah, it's dirt cheap, because I sold mine for $200 and it had a crack. And some people that didn't have a crack, you could have sold it to Samsung or someone else for $300. Like if I didn't crack it, I would have traded into Samsung for $300 and bought the S10 for $600 and got a free pair of Galaxy Buds. So there's that. Just so you know, expandable memory on the S8 does cap at 256 gigabytes, but on the S10 it caps at 512 gigabytes. Why do you need 512 gigabytes on top of 128 gigabytes? I don't know, but I transferred my entire S8 to my phone, and I have like 60 gigabytes left. So, and I record video with my S10, so I'm definitely going to need to upgrade very soon. The front-facing camera megapixels on the S10 is 10 megapixels, and on the S8 they're 8 megapixels. So you can get a difference from there. Video recording, it says 1080p, like I said, 30 frames per second on the S8, and on the S10 it is 60 frames per second for 1080p. Of course, you can record in 4K video, but you do not have that stabilization feature at the 4K mark. At the 1080 mark, you have the stabilization, so that's awesome. That's an awesome feature to have. They both support quick charging, wireless charging, because you know Samsung just starts off doing great. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section down below. I do appreciate the 2 YouTubers that I was able to use their videos of the Samsung S10 and the S8. Yeah, so please hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions, let me know. HXG out.